All right, so we are now recording. And Ashlie, I'm going to turn it over to you. I'm going to mute myself and you can unmute. I'm going to actually unmute you. There we go. You should be all set now.
Okay, hi guys, hi Dream Team. Okay, so this is crazy town. I was actually just making a post, I'll post it after, about how like wild it is to be speaking to you guys. I'm sure you guys have amazing training, but I have had kind of a, hopefully you guys can hear me. We currently live in Portland. I'm gonna see if I can move to better lighting here. But we currently live in Portland. We do 6 months out of the year in Arizona and 6 months in Portland. And we have a tiny little condo up here. So I'm on my deck and it's like in downtown Portland. So you might hear some street sounds and whatever. But it's just so wild to be here because, you know, I started in 2012 with just wanting to get in shape for my wedding. I had no intention of ever building the business. I just wanted the discount. And I had no intention of building the business, wanted the discount, and I was super insecure. I was depressed. And so to be here speaking to you about how you kind of stand out on social media and, you know, make a brand for yourself is just wild. And to think like right now, currently my team, I know I'm speaking to the top team for the last 4 years. My team's currently ranked #1 and it's just crazy. But I'm sure you know this, but I just want you guys to, at the end of the day, remember that it's possible for any of you. And I've been having like a lot of full circle moments today. I've been doing a bunch of training calls and it's just blowing me away where my life is. And I'm going to teach you kind of how I stand out on social media. And then I hope that you guys implement it. And then I hope that you really do believe that whatever you want in this business is possible for you. And you kind of lead with your heart and your passion more than selling anything. So I'm going to share my screen. I have a little presentation. I love questions. I much prefer to do Q&A than training or anything. So if you guys have them, pop them in the chat box and I will get to them at the end. But you guys can share my screen now. Yes, actually, shoot, I just turned you guys off. Can you nod? Yeah, you can see. Okay, great. Okay, so I'm going to talk to you guys about how to build a brand and not just a business, because I think a lot of times that's what we do. We think we're building a business and we become kind of walking Beachbody billboards, and we are so much more than just Beachbody coaches. So let me talk about what the difference is between a business and a brand. So a business is an organization that markets a product or service or opportunity. And a brand is the image and personality behind the business offers. It is the beating heart behind the screen. So my business, our business, is I am a Beachbody coach. But my brand is that I am a champagne drinking, F-bomb dropping, beauty product loving, crude sense of humor spewing, self-love encouraging wife, mom, and dog mom, right? So there's the difference there. Beachbody pays my bills. Beachbody is what puts a roof over my head and food on the table. It's what's allowed us to do this, you know, part of the year in Arizona and part of the year here. But that's not who I am. Who I am is so much more of a human being than just the fact that I'm a coach. So I want you to think about, who are you? Because it's not about what you are selling. It's about the fact that you are the one selling it. So these are my snapshots, a couple snapshots from my social media. So if you go to my social media, this is kind of what you would expect to see. Sure, you're going to see fitness. Sure, you're going to see me talking about our products, you know, shakes and energize and whatever. But you're going to see way more other things because I am not here to sell fitness programs and shake. At the end of the day, I'm here to sell a lifestyle. That's what we are here to do. We are here to sell a lifestyle to people. And so I want you to think about like what it is that makes you you. And honestly, this really can be anything. I remember when I was tasked this, I mean, because you guys, this is not new, right? You've heard what are the 5 things that make you you that are not fitness? Because you're for sure going to post about your fitness, but what else are you? You're super multidimensional. And I remember really struggling with it, not knowing what I was I interested in? And so think about, you know, where are you spending your time on the internet? Who are you following? What do you search on Pinterest? What do you do on the weekends? Or if you have like an evening free, where do you spend your time? Who do you want to be with? And honestly, I was like, what do John and I do? Like, what's our hobbies? First of all, we're obsessed with our dog. Now we have a kid, so we're obsessed with her too. But when I first started, and your brand will evolve and change as you evolve and change. But so dogs was one of them. I love like beauty products and hair and makeup and whatever. So that became another thing. I'm really into self-love and living a life in balance. So you will always see me sharing, my going out and eating and doing whatever and just living my life, and not just the diet and following the meal plan. In fact, I generally don't diet or follow the meal plans. I kind of do my own spin on it just because I don't believe in restriction and stuff. But so you'll see me talk about that became another thing. You'll see me talk about balance. And then I was like, what do we really like to do? And honestly, John and I really like to go to eat and drink. So drinking became a part of my brand. Like, what do I want to spend my weekends doing? I want to be with my husband, friends, and family. I want to be drinking. I want to be having fun. And not that you need drinks to have fun, but I like it, all right? So I'm a health and fitness coach who decided I can have drinking be a part of my brand. And so it can be something small or it can be something big, right? Like you're a mom, okay? So that's a part of your brand. Maybe you're obsessed with peanut butter. And so peanut butter becomes a part of your brand. When I had colorful hair, unicorns became a part of my brand. And so I want you to really think about where can you provide value outside of just being a fitness person? And remember that if all you're doing is showing up with your sweaty selfie and your shakes and how perfectly you're following the meal plan and all of that, that's great. But it's not super relatable and not super inspiring, and it doesn't really provide value to people. If all you're doing is really being a walking billboard for Beachbody, then you're selling Beachbody. And they can get Beachbody anywhere. They can Google it. They can go to beachbody.com, Amazon. My first program I bought off eBay, right? But there is only one place they can get you. So I want you to start thinking about how you can feature you more on your page. And to do that, I want you to become a student of Selfie School. Now, this sounds super basic, but it is literally our job to take selfies all day. It's part of our job, and it should be in the description. And so you want to get good at them. Selfies are important, especially so much of our business is put on social media. So you want to have a good visual brand. You want to have eye-catching, scroll-stopping posts that you put up. So here's a few tips for Selfie School. Get ready once in a while. You want to share images that share a lifestyle, right? So if you're always looking miserable and disheveled and chaos, it's not super duper inspiring. I mean, show the real, right? But people already have their own chaos and mess and hot mess lives, right, that they're living. But they want to see something that is a life that they want to live. And so if you're just showing messy, murky, dark photos and it's just not appealing, or every time you post a sweaty selfie, you look miserable because the workout was hard. Nobody wants to join a group if you look miserable doing it. Even on the hardest workouts, I make sure to smile in my photo after. So get ready once in a while, right? You're selling a lifestyle. Wear your hair down if you're a female. Wear your hair down, do something with it. I mean, I would say, 9 days out of 10, I don't have makeup on and my hair's up. But I do, when I get ready, this is 3-day-old hair, and I'll try to take a lot of photos those days so I can have them as backup to put with a quote or whatever. So wear your hair down, get ready, put yourself together. Make sure every photo, no matter what you put up, that it is light, bright, and eye-catching. So the ways to do that is you want to use white natural lighting and get outside or do a window as often as possible. Take your food, for sure, take your food to a window. Taking a picture of a food inside under yellow lighting, it doesn't look appetizing. So if you put up a picture, maybe it's the best thing that you ate in a year, but if it looks gross, it's going to stop nobody's scroll. Same with all of your other images. You want it to be light, bright, and eye-catching because their thumb is moving super fast. And if you are going to try to catch their attention, you could have an amazing story, an amazing caption, but if your picture is lackluster, they're not going to stop that thumb. They're just going to keep scrolling right on by. So bright natural lighting is great. Window is best. Get outside, and then edit according to your personal brand colors. So something I just learned about actually on the Top 10 trip is there is an app called Lightroom, and you can buy a preset filter, or you can create your own. For me, before I found out about Lightroom, I used an app called Snapseed. And so every picture I had, I would edit in the same kind of formulation. So I would try HDR and see if I liked that. And sometimes it worked and sometimes it didn't. But I always would saturate certain areas, make them colorful. I'd make them bright and white as much as I could. I wanted like white and lighter kind of colored, and then I wanted a lot of pinks. So I had the same kind of formulation, and that's what I want you guys to do. I want you to figure out like when you go and you search Instagram feeds, who has the feed that you're attracted to, that you like, and then sort of start to emulate your photos around that. And you want to have a cohesive color story. So don't be doing like a ton of different filters. Don't be messing around and have like, super HDR photo and then like some dark one or whatever. Like, you want to have it to be pretty cohesive. I think Amy Silverman has a really strong visual brand. She does kind of like dark, more murky, earthy kind of photos. Angie Belmore has a really strong visual brand. She's very bright and colorful and playful. So just play around on Instagram, find something that you're attracted to, and then figure out what your magic formula is for editing and stick to that. Smile into the camera. So right now, I actually can't see any of you. I just see my screen, but I'm looking into the lens of my laptop. In case you guys are looking into my eyes, I'm looking into the lens. I'm not looking at the screen, I'm looking into the lens. The exact same thing should be when you are taking a selfie, you look into the camera, not at the screen at yourself. Look into the camera, because then when people are scrolling, it's like you're making eye contact with them. And then play around with angles, timers, portrait mode. I'll show you, I think I have on this next slide. Yes, some examples, but play around with angles. And before you post, ask yourself, would this stop your scroll? Would it stop your scroll? And if it wouldn't, don't post it, put something else. And remember that your social media is your magazine. So you want to make it look pretty. You want to make it be appealing. And whatever appeals to you, like if there are feeds that you follow that appeal to you, start emulating your feed to look like that. And you want it, what I mean by playing around with angles, you want to break it up. So you want to have a visual, like cohesiveness to your photos, but you don't want just selfie after selfie after selfie or that same pose or whatever. You want a nice variety. So here's a few examples of ways that you can take selfies that are not just your standard selfie, because the same sweaty post-workout, bathroom, bedroom, wherever you take it selfie is just not interesting. It's boring, so we need to get creative. So I borrowed these from some of my girlfriends. So this one here is Lori on the left. There's a guy named Kyle. Kyle, do you want to mute yourself? Because it keeps having background noise. So Lori is indoor, but she's by a window. Lots of bright, natural lighting. My girl Leticia, she put her phone on a timer. She dropped down to the ground. It's a different angle. So she used the timer and played around with angles, and she's outside. Emily, she took a photo. This is at night. You can see in the window that it's dark outside, but she bought something called the Diva Ring. They have knockoff. I actually have one, the newer ring. If you type in Diva Ring on Amazon, the other one will come up. And that's kind of an investment, but it's a write-off. And then I've also purchased on Amazon, if you look up like kitchen undermount LED light strip or something, it's like this tape of LED lights, and I have them at my computer in Arizona. I have them taped around my desktop computer so that it's bright. But this is another timer picture. She put it on a timer, and then she used the ring light to be light, bright, eye-catching. Tanya used portrait mode on her iPhone, so she asked somebody to take this. If you have the iPhone, portrait mode is amazing, where it focuses on the subject and then blurs the background. It makes it look very professional. There's also apps you can use like to defocus the background so that you really pop and stand out. I also would recommend using objects, things like babies, drinks. Raina Odell, right? It's her name. She is known for her graphic tees. So she does a lot of graphic tees in her shots. I feel like a lot of times those mugs with funny sayings on them now, those are like objects. So break it up using objects with whatever it is that makes sense for your brand. This is my coach Autumn. She did a lifestyle photo. She put her phone on a timer, and like, how bad do you want to be in that picture with her? Like, she looks like she's having the time of her life. That was on the Success Club trip for her and her husband in Mexico this year. Like, I want to be there. You're creating a lifestyle or sharing a lifestyle that people want to be a part of. And then this is my Coach Jamie, just another way to play around with angles, where it was just aerial view from above. So get creative, play around, use your timer, ask for somebody to take pictures with you. There's lots of ways to take selfies, but practice and get better. Okay, now that you've got great pictures and they're gonna be scroll stopping, what does your caption say? So I want you guys to really focus on creating fans and not just followers. We're so consumed with how do we get more likes? How do we get more engagement? How do we sell more challenge packs? Well, great, fine, like we want those things, but if you focus on them, you're focusing on the wrong thing. I want you to really think about creating fans, not just followers, people that love you, people that are fans of you and don't just follow you. And so how do you do that? With your captions and your photos, you are the main subject. So some kids, some pets, some product, whatever, mostly you. Don't hide behind kids or props or whatever. Like it should, if your social media is a feature film, you are the lead actor or actress, right? You've got supporting characters, but you are the lead. And then I want you to have an opinion. I want you to be who you are. You need to evoke conversation, ask questions of your followers, try to engage in dialogue with them. But I want you to have an opinion and I want you to stand your ground with things that, make you. Like for me, so our dog is I'm super obsessed with animals, and our dog is a lab pit mix. I don't think we'll ever own another dog that is part pit because she's the best. And now that I know about the pit breed, I just really want to be an advocate for them. So if there is some idiot that comes on my page that tells me anything bad about pit bulls, I just block them because I want to have an opinion, and there's things that I really stand like firmly in, and that's not super controversial, right? I wouldn't get like super controversial with your stuff, but it's okay to like say the unpopular opinion. It's okay to like it's okay to be a fitness coach who likes to drink. Like it's okay to just be whoever you are and stand your ground, own your truth. You're going to turn some people off. That's the goal. If you like to swear, swear. It's okay that you're going to offend some people. You're not looking for everybody on the planet. You're looking to connect with people that are just like you, that love you. And if like for me, I make sure to swear on my social media because if they're going to be offended by the F word, they're definitely going to be offended by other things I say. And I'm not looking to appeal to everybody. I'm looking to just appeal to other me's out there. So let people into your world and personality. Let them know who you are. Let them know who the beating heart is behind the screen. And then think about adding value. So, again, we're always trying to increase our followers, get more likes and whatever, but like, let's focus on adding value to those around us, to the people that do follow us. And how do you do that? Think about these things. Think about who is the old you. So sometimes I'm making posts to the old depressed Ashlie who was suicidal. Sometimes I'm posting to her and I'm talking to her. So when that old Ashlie is reading it, they're like, oh my gosh, she's talking to me. Yes, I am. What are you struggling with right now? Maybe you didn't want to work out today. Maybe you went out on date night and you were supposed to have a salad and you had a burger instead. Like, what are you struggling with today? Talk to the you of today, or talk to the struggles of the past, whatever. What's your biggest excuse and how will you conquer it, or are you conquering it? I know a lot of people have a time excuse, right? I don't have enough time to work out. I don't have enough time to build a business. But how are you going to get over it? How are you going to take control of your life and share that with people? I want you to storytell in a way that as you're posting it, you're literally writing to yourself, because that's all you're trying to do. You're trying to find more yous. You're going to turn people off, remember. But you're going to find the right people when you do this. What are you hopeful about? I know a lot of times people think, I can't really share about coaching because I'm not making a lot of money yet, or I'm not doing it full time yet. But I remember when I first started, it was awesome to just be able to dream again. Like Beachbody let me dream. It let me like plan for things. And I didn't have that before. So I was hopeful about the future. I was hopeful that I could, control what my future was going to look like. So talk about that. How did you win today? When you didn't want to work out and you showed up anyway, why did you show up? What was the point of showing up? Tell that story. How did you win? Share your struggles, of course. If you guys follow me at all, you know I am very open with who I am. I share when I struggle, but you have to spin it to win it. So you can't just like spew your negativity because, again, everybody's already got their own BS that they're dealing with in their life. They've got their own negativity. They've got their own insecurities. They've got their own struggles. It's not inspiring just to read yours, you know, like, so if you're going to say you had a bad day or you slipped up, how are you going to spin it to win it? How are you going to say I had a bad day? Here's how I got myself out of it. Or for me, you know, when I have like depression, I talk about like today's a hard, or I struggle with self-love. I'll talk about today's a hard day with self-love because that's a part of my brand too now. So today was a hard day with self-love. I was really hard on myself. Here's what I did to switch it, you know? So spin it and win it. And then I've already said this, but it bears repeating. Stop trying to connect with everybody. You are never going to connect with people if you're trying to connect with everyone. You want to turn some people off. Remember, I had this post that went viral a couple years ago, 2016. I had a post that went viral in 2016 and it had a swear word in it, and I never ended up boosting it because I didn't want to edit it and take the swear word out. I knew Facebook wouldn't let me boost it if it had a swear word, but I also knew that it was going to turn some people off because there was a swear word in it. And I had to, after, you know, I had 25,000 likes on my page when it went viral, and it went up to 75,000 likes after kind of the, you know, the dust cleared. And I knew 50,000 new likes in what, maybe 2 weeks or something, 50,000 new likes, there is 50,000 new eyes, 50,000 new people, and guaranteed a lot of them are not my people. So as tempting as it was to be like, oh, now I've got all these new eyes, how do I appeal to all of them? I don't want any of them to go away. As tempting as that was, I had to check myself and be like, no, you want them to go away. You want some of them to go away and unlike your page because they're not your people. So keep swearing. Keep talking about how you drink. Keep doing your crude sense of humor. Like, keep being you. Keep talking about Beachbody. Keep inviting people because that's going to turn people off. Those are not my people. I'm not worried about the people that are not my people, right? And lastly, I just want to say about this, I think we're, again, so focused on getting new likes and followers. I wanted to give you this analogy of, say you are having a dinner party and you invite all your, you know, closest friends and family over. They love you. They're sitting around the table. You have served the food. It's warm, and they're just waiting for you to sit down and join them. And instead of spending time with the people who have come over to your dinner party, you're running up and down the street, screaming, banging pots and pans, telling more people about the party, trying to get more people to come. That is what you're doing when you're focusing on getting more likes and followers, instead of, if you just focus on serving the people that are at your dinner table, if you focus on serving the people, you know, there have been people that have gone superstar diamond with less than 2,000 followers. It's not about the followers. It is about making connections, and it's about the followers who care. And the people that are sitting at your dinner table, the likes that you already have, those people care, and it will grow organically. Because if you throw off a great dinner party and your food's amazing, they're going to tell their friends about how awesome your food is and how warm of a host you are and how funny you are and how great this and that and the other thing about you is. They're going to tell people, and it's going to grow naturally. But if you focus on just help, oh, here, you need this. Focus just on getting more followers and getting more people to come to your dinner party, then you're ignoring the people who actually already love you and are listening. Oh my God, that's amazing. Guys, my husband just came out and tilted this umbrella for me. I was roasting in the sun. Okay, so think about that. Serve the people at your dinner party. Serve the people who already know, love, and trust you. All right, what else makes a good caption? So here's a few ideas for you. Short and sweet one-liners. Something like diamonds were a girl's best friend, and then yoga pants happen. And maybe it's a selfie of you, set on a timer of you in your yoga pants, right? Maybe with a glass of wine watching The Bachelor. I don't know. But short and sweet, funny little one-liners. Negative wording. Something that says, I never thought I would feel comfortable in my own skin. And maybe this is a picture of you finally wearing a swimsuit, playing with your kids at the beach this summer. Or shorts. How many of you don't wear shorts or tank tops because of your body and you feel comfortable in your skin, like you're wearing a tank top and shorts now, right? So it's a picture of you, but the story to go with it. Ask a question. Something like, have you ever felt like you had no control over your life? And then this could be a picture of you tonight, something about this coaching call. And you say, you know, have you ever felt like you had no control over your life? Me too. I was checking boxes. And today I just feel so inspired that I found this side passion that I love so much. I just got off of a meeting and it doesn't feel like work. And I feel like I finally have control over my future and where it's going. Whatever, right? It's a story that goes with it. Use emotional power words. Something like, I was destroying my body until I discovered my secret. And for me, my secret is self-love. My secret is that it was never my body, it was my mind. So this might be a picture of me out on date night with my husband. And my secret is I don't feel guilty after I have the margarita and nachos. That's my secret, truly, you guys. So whatever your secret is. So it's another lifestyle photo of you. Talk in numbers, something like 21 days ago, I was not the same girl. Tell the story along with a transformation picture, maybe, of how you've changed. And I already told you this, but stop selling Beachbody, start selling your lifestyle. A business thinks that they always have the right to sell, right? Beachbody is actually always selling to us. They're always selling to their coaches. That's okay because Beachbody is a business. We are, do you guys know, like, I don't know if you follow the Kardashians or just lots of brands. That's why social media influencers is a job now, because what businesses have discovered is that if somebody follows the Kardashians, right? They follow them, they love them, and they promote a product, that they're going to have a higher chance of selling that product because the followers trust that person who's sharing that product. That's what we are for Beachbody. So Beachbody is the business. They're always going to be selling to us these new products, whatever. It's then our job to build trust with our followers and share all kinds of other things, but then you're kind of just being a brand representative for Beachbody. We, as a brand, have to earn the right to sell. So that's why you can't just throw up your fitness pics only and your Shakeology pics only and your straight up Beachbody stuff. You have to really provide value to people. We're not here. I really, truly feel like our job is not to sell fitness programs and shakes. Our job is not to make everybody in the world use and love Beachbody. Our job, I feel, is to become our best selves. Our job is to make, use and love Beachbody products ourselves, love it, let it light us up, and then shine that light outward for other people to see who are out waiting in the darkness and needing a lifeline. So what's going to happen is people are going to be attracted to your light. They're going to want to do the lifestyle that you're selling. They're going to join you, and then they're going to be like, actually, not into this. This isn't my jam. Cool. So they're going to go inactive. They're going to cancel. Not your problem. Your job is not to convince everybody to use and love Beachbody for the rest of their lives. Your job is to become your best self and help other people become their best selves. And your job is just to tell everybody about it. That's it. It's not to make everybody Beachbody believers. It's to be a Beachbody believer yourself and then tell everybody that you can about it. That's it, right? So take the pressure off of the selling and put it just on sharing and inviting and talking to people and being a human being talking to other human beings. And at the end of it all, I need you guys to remember that we get one life. We just get one of these. And we should be the one that designs how we want it to go. But instead, we're spending so much of our life caring about other people's opinions. We don't put the picture up because what will they think? We don't send the invite because what if they think that, you're selling to them? We don't do this, that, or the other thing because of what other people would think. Why don't we stop caring about what other people would think so much and put the focus on caring about the right opinions? Because caring about what the coworkers think, or your mother's friend thinks, or some random person at your church thinks, those people don't matter, and their opinions do not pay your bills. The people whose opinions matter are the people that love you and support you, and that you doing this, like you working hard on this dream and this business, that their life is going to change as a result. For me, those people are my family. In fact, I don't know if you're hearing, well, you can't see, I'll show you later, but my family's out here right now. My family's in this picture. I got Rev here, John, my dog. I care about their opinions. I care about not letting fear be the dictator of my decisions because they matter too much to me. I care about the opinions of my team because that is my chosen family. I care about being the best that I can for them and leading from the front for them so that they can live their biggest and best lives, right? So let's stop caring so much about turning people off or about offending somebody or about things that just don't matter. Let's care about living the life that we want to live and doing it, caring about the people who actually matter. Okay, so that's all I have for this. I would love if there's questions. I'm happy to talk about that. And the only other thing Melanie asked me to kind of touch on was recruiting. And the only thing that I think I do differently, so that'll be really quick, is I make sure I stand out on social media. I make sure I don't sound like every other Beachbody coach. So you don't hear me saying Beachbody terminology. You don't hear me saying the name of the program. That's Rev. I don't know if you guys, they're eating here. So you don't hear me saying the name of the program. You don't hear me shouting out about, your echo. You don't hear me shouting about like the trainers and stuff. You don't talking about that I'm an elite coach. You don't hear me talking about like any, can you guys hear me? Connection was, you don't hear me talking about that because I'm not selling Beachbody, I'm selling myself. Once somebody is ready to join, that's what they're getting. I don't have another product. I'm going to plug them in Beachbody, but I'm not going to be a walking billboard for Beachbody. I'm going to create fans and followers and then ready to enroll. Because I really sell myself on my coaching. Like I know that I offer that. Yes, I mean offer is people that want to know that I can help change their life. One of you have kind of faith in yourself. People I say this year, they just support and do that. And I offer opportunity. So that's how I do it. Different rules a lot on that. But I started as a coach and have for discount. And never knew I could save 25%. I don't know if I'd be here today. I doubt it. So I offer it to everybody. And that's the other thing too, is you never know who's going to catch fire with it. There's going to be people that you think aren't going to do anything with this business and blow shit up. Then there's going to be people who you start and they do nothing. So you just never offer everybody's forth. Say, awesome. The same amount. The first one's going to be $240, and you'll get $240 now, and then you'll get a discount of 25% on all your products, including your Shakeology. That's the loyalty plan. I call it loyalty plan or discount coach option. The second option is you can pay $240 as a retail customer and pay retail price for your future purchases. Which sounds I would recommend the two. Hey
Ashley.
Yeah.
Super. We're hard to hear you. You're breaking up pretty bad for us. Oh, now you're moving.
Yeah. Can you guys hear me in here?
I can hear you in and out, but you're frozen.
I don't know what else to do. I'm in here, like right by the router.
Okay. It's a little bit better. It's getting better.
Okay. I was outside, but I don't know if maybe. So did you guys hear anything?
Will you go back to when you talked about the different kinds of customers, like how you present it?
Yeah. So I just say, there's two options to order and both cost. So after, we go back and forth and people are ready to join. I say there's two options to order, both cost the same amount. They're $240, and the first option is you can order as a loyalty plan, in parentheses, discount coach option. That's going to be $240 now, but then you're going to get 25% discount on all your future products. And then I'll say your second option is you pay $240 now, but you order as a retail customer, and then you pay retail price on all your future products. So, and then I'll break down depending what they're ordering, right? If it's Shakeology, I'll break down what the cost would be going forward as a retailer coach, and I'll say, I would recommend the loyalty plan, but what sounds best to you? And I recommend it because I think you also need to be an authority for people. They're going to invest between $160 and $240 or maybe more, depending what pack you offer them. But they're going to invest, that's a lot of money. They're going to invest that with you. And so they already trust you enough to make that investment. So be an authority and say, I would recommend the loyalty plan, because you guys, for me, I mean, this is what I do. You can do whatever you want, but for me, oh shoot, I just lost my train of thought. Oh, it's just as easy for them to like change their Shakeology flavor or cancel their Shakeology as it is to cancel being a coach. It's literally just an online form that they submit. And I figure if they're a discount coach, great. So I mostly sign discount coaches. And then my job is, once they get in my group, then try to make them, and again, because this is my story, right? So once they're in the group, then I just try to make them Beachbody believers. I try to give them, get amazing results. And I do plant seeds in the group about coaching and stuff like that. I also add every coach to my team page because I don't think I'd be here if I wasn't, as a discount coach, added to the larger team page that I'm a part of, because it just made me realize there's a whole nother community. And I started just like peeking around behind the scenes, and I was like, well, heck, I love Beachbody, and these people are making money sharing about it, and I already am talking to people about it. Like, why don't I see what I could do with this? So I add everybody to the team page. And then I plant seeds, in my challenge groups. Like if I have somebody who advances in rank, I'll say, like, I know this group is for fitness, but we are each other's biggest cheerleaders in here. And they just got a shout out, like our girl Allie hit Emerald in her business today. And they know, because they've been following Allie. They see Allie just as another challenger, right? They're on the same journey as her. But Allie so then they're not just seeing me be successful in the business. They're seeing somebody who is also on their journey, who doesn't have results maybe yet, who is making things happen on the business side. So I'll plant seeds like that. Or I'll say, like, I do weekly boot camp calls, and I'll say, okay, now if you sign up for the loyalty plan, we have Autumn on our team call tonight. So, or tomorrow night or whatever, whenever it is. And I'll say, so just make sure you check the team page. So that's a seed that I'm planting, right? I'm just planting seeds like that. And then, of course, you do the standard for me, like when people kill it in the challenge group, I message them and say, like, oh my gosh, you are amazing and so inspiring. People are loving having you in there. Like, how are you feeling about it? And if they're like, I hate it, then coaching's probably not for them. But if they're like, oh my gosh, I love it, I'm telling everybody about it, da, da, da. It's like, have you ever considered like actually coaching? Because you're already doing it, right? So that's standard. You've heard that before. But I honestly think the way that I recruit so many people is by making myself stand out on social media, selling myself, so they don't know that I'm a Beachbody coach. They don't know. And the reason I also do that is because I was the kind of person, remember, I'm talking to other Ashleys. I was the kind of person who, if I followed somebody that I liked and they were doing something that I wanted to do and they told me what the name was, I never would have sent them a message. I would have just gone and Googled it and bought it myself. So that's also why I don't say that. I want them to have to come to me to get what it is that I have. And so I really sell like my boot camp, my program. I have a new program coming out, and I don't follow the Beachbody launch calendar. Like, I didn't launch 2B when Beachbody launched 2B because it felt like too much at once. I waited until I launched 2B. And I know that there's a lot of coaches that follow me now, but I pretend that nobody in the world that follows me knows what Beachbody is. And they don't know about a program launching until I tell them about a program launching. And I will say, I have a new program launching. I will not say, Lift 4, I have a program, Lift 4 is coming out, we're launching it. I just won't do that because I'm selling me. I don't want people going and Googling. And I learned that the hard way in the beginning. I had a bunch of people, I did the Ultimate Reset in like month 1 of coaching. I was doing the Ultimate Reset and taking people on that journey, and I was saying the name of it. And so many people over the next like 3 months finally would message me like, oh girl, I completed the Ultimate Reset, loved it, thanks for whatever. And I'm like, what? But you didn't order through me because they went and Googled it because they're me. That's what I would have done. So, yeah. So I don't think I do anything special with recruiting other than make sure I stand out on social media in a way that makes them feel like they have to come to me to get what it is that I have instead of going to Beachbody. And then I offer the discount to everybody. So that's the only thing that I do different. Let me see if there's any. And then I do run a sneak peek usually every other month. So then those people are more business, like they want to come on and work the business. But I don't ever sign up any coaches that pay the $40. If they want to be a coach, they have to enroll with a challenge pack and join my challenge group. Okay. let me see if there's any questions. How do you transition into offering the products when they think they can just join a challenge group for help? I don't hide that there's an investment. I don't say that it's like, I never say that it's just a challenge, an accountability group. I talk about I'll just plant seeds all the time on my social media. Like, when you join my boot camp, you'll get access to all of these. When you join my boot camp, you'll also get 30 meals. When you join my boot camp, you'll get to try this unicorn crack for yourself. Like, whatever. So I talk about it all the time. And there are some people like, oh, I didn't know there was a cost. And I'm like, okay, well, you're bad, because you should think that if you're getting all of this stuff that I'm talking about, that there's going to be a fee. And if you're doing a good job of selling yourself, then, and really honestly, you guys, like 160 to 240 is freaking cheap for what we offer. And so I know it's a huge investment, but people are spending hundreds, if not thousands of dollars a year on weight loss stuff. And you have a solution that can change their life. So don't undervalue it either. But yeah, I feel like it's not a secret that and I am never embarrassed to say that there's a cost, because I am proud of what we have to offer. I know that it's life-changing. I know it's worth their investment, and then get their money back, So if someone's like, oh, I thought it was just for accountability, you can say, oh no, it definitely has built-in motivation and accountability, but we're all following the same like workouts and meal plan, and you don't have access to those if you don't make the investment. And then you could say, sorry, Revi is here now. But you could say, but there is the 30-day money-back guarantee, so you can try it. And if you hate it or you don't feel healthier or you're not using it, you can always get your money back, right? So,
Ashlie, can you talk really quick about stories versus your actual feed, and kind of how you differentiate what you put out and which part for Instagram?
Yeah. So, John, I could use your help with this situation. So I don't use Instagram stories. I think that the standard way people use Instagram stories, the internet was cutting up out there, so I have to be here. I don't use Instagram stories the standard way. I just go on and I talk about my life. I follow a lot of Beachbody coaches that are my friends, and I just feel like there's so many people or they're on my team or, whatever. So there's so many people that I love as human beings. And then I watch their stories and I'm like, what? This is like boring. This isn't even you. You are so fun and funny and have like all these other things that are amazing about you. And you just only talk about like inviting and rank advancing and your challengers. And I'm like, let people see the not put together you. So that's how I use my stories, is just like the raw footage of my life. So I'm very curated on my feed now. So the posts that go up, they're very thoughtful, they're very intentional. I have that visual brand that I use. I've bought actually a few presets. You can buy them on Etsy if you guys look up like Lightroom preset. So I'm very thoughtful with those posts, but with my stories, I don't think about it at all. And if I mess up something, I very, very rarely will film something and exit and film it again. I always try to go with like the first whatever happens, because I just want people to see who I am and, like what they're getting. And I remember hearing Shalene, I used to follow her on Snapchat before IG stories was like a big thing. And I remember her saying that she did like her Marketing Impact Academy. So she put a number of spots out. So she like had a different link for people on Instagram, Facebook, and Snapchat to sign up through, right? And so she would like advertise, and she put a bunch of money behind Facebook. And so what she found was that she sold as many memberships or whatever on Facebook, but she has several 100,000 followers on Facebook. And she had, I think, what did she say? She had like 2,000 people on Snapchat, and she had hundreds of thousands of people on Facebook, and she sold as many like memberships into Marketing Impact Academy on Snapchat as she did Facebook. And it just showed her that even though it was 2,000 eyes, way, 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 way less than hundreds of thousands on Facebook, the conversion was much higher because people get to see who Shalene really is when you follow Shalene on Snap. And that's why I don't want you guys thinking about what you put up on stories. Sure, you can put, like, there can be some stuff that's like thoughtful and like an actual invite. And I've seen some people do really amazing things with that. I didn't see it, but I was on a call last week, and I guess Stephanie Chico did a really great like picture story of her journey as a coach and then invited people at the end. So that's very thoughtful. And I do think that those are valuable, but I just think majority of your stories should be a reality show into your life. It should not be polished and put together and filtered and like whatever. Like if I drink, I like to drink, right? We've gathered that from this call. If I am drunk, I go on stories. I know I'm going to look sloppy and stupid to people. If they judge me for that, they're not my people. Like, go then. If you are turned off by me being a drunk asshole, then you're not my tribe. Like, it's okay. Go find other people who, whatever, you know what I mean? So I just feel like people do too much curation and not enough just authentic who you really are, especially on stories. Thanks. Does that answer that question?
Yes, absolutely. Because there is that difference between stories and the feed, and it's important to almost see it as like two separate styles of social media. Mm-hmm. So to just hear about how you do it, especially because you're so about being your true self and putting your real self out there, and kind of how you do that on the two platforms, I guess. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's really helpful.
And again, I just want to say this, there was a lot of learning for me on the top 10 trip because, right, we're the top 10 coaches from last year and everybody does things differently. And it is so interesting because I am all about, you guys, be who you are, put it out there, like let people judge you, turn people off. And there are so many, like Lindsay Matway, she wasn't on the trip, but I've been talking to her and she's like, I can't do that. I don't do that. And Amy Silverman said the same thing. Like, I am not super authentic on social media, and I've built my following without, with putting out there what I want people to see. So if this doesn't resonate with you, the way I do things is not the right way to do things. It's the way I do things, and it's how I have found success. But I feel like mess around with different styles and whatever feels good to you. For me, with my background in depression, I had hid myself for so long and lived my life according to everybody's opinions for so long that this feels freeing for me to be this true and authentic. But I know it's not like that for everybody. So there are, you don't have to be like 100, put everything out there and show you're messy. That's me. That's part of like actually my therapy. It's part of what keeps my depression at bay, is staying really grounded in who I am and knowing that I'm getting people that like me for who I am. Because so many years people would say, oh, I like you, you're funny, you're nice, whatever they would say. And I just wouldn't believe them because they didn't know who I actually was. So for me, with my background with depression, this is really important for me to be really raw and true, but maybe that's not you. So I'm not saying that this is the right way to do things. It's the way I have done it to be successful, but I think you need to, at the end of the day, do what feels true to you.
And I appreciate you saying that, because I think that that's a really good lesson for coaches, whether we've been in this business for 6 years or 6 weeks. It doesn't need to be done one way. There's so many different ways to be a coach. And so hearing that you can be successful by just putting it all out there and just being you, as well as being packaged and really put together and being successful that way as well, and everything in between. So that's really important for coaches to know, especially for those of us who get caught up in that comparison game and following other coaches and thinking you need to do it that way. You don't have to. So I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
I don't want us to go too much longer, but is there anything that you kind of want to leave us with? I know that you really wanted, your today or tonight you were talking about just being a really great influencer. So is there anything that you want to leave us with?
I don't know. I mean, I guess the only thing that I would say is you guys just spend an hour of your life with me. Time is something, you can never get that hour back. Time is something that's our most precious asset. And I would say there's not enough action. So if anything resonated with you on this call, take action on it, because training and learning doesn't build a business. And at the end of it, like today I did a training thing for this diamond group I'm running, and I got really emotional in there because I just feel like people are wasting their time. And We all have a much bigger life waiting for us on the other side of our fears and insecurities and doubts. And it's like waiting for you, but you have to be the one that seizes it. And so I just think, like, you know, I'm so glad that I fought to find this Ashlie. This is not who I was when I found Beachbody, but I'm so glad I fought to find this Ashlie and live this life, because, you know, now my life has changed, of course. My daughter's life has changed. My family's life has changed. And then I was able to change so many other people. And I don't know, I'm guessing a lot of you are new and you have doubts and you want to be, you know, a diamond coach, or you want to hit Success Club consistently and you're struggling with it. And I think it's because you're sitting in the story of struggle in your mind. So you're acting like that. You think being a diamond coach is really hard, or maybe it's star diamond, like whatever it is. It's really hard. Or hitting Success Club is really hard. And I know you guys, you're leading to success, like you guys hit Success Club, so maybe it's not hard for you. But again, that's a story then that you've told yourself, that the Success Club is not hard. So then you achieve it. So whatever you want to achieve in this business, I want you to think about it as if it's possible. I remember way back when I started 5 years ago, I used to say I was a CEO of $1 million business. I was not a CEO of $1 million business then, but every single one of you is. Maybe not today, but at some point. And so I want you to act from that belief. I want you to act from as if this has already happened, as if you've already achieved your goal, right? If Success Club is going to happen and it's not hard, then you act differently. You show up differently. You don't get as afraid to send the invite and make connections and talk to people and make that post and whatever, because Success Club's easy. You don't overthink things. And if diamond is easy, you don't overthink it. You just start acting like a diamond, and then it's inevitable. The result is inevitable. The timeline's maybe, you know, going to change, but the result of you being successful is inevitable if you make that decision. So I would just say, start acting from who you want to be. Whatever your goal is in this business, start acting as if that's already happened, and it will. And stop living in the struggle cycle and that story you've been telling yourself that this business is hard. This business is not freaking hard. You get to be at home on social media, like talking to humans, working on yourself. That is what this business is. Your ego tells you this business is hard. This business is not hard, right? So that's all I would say, is just try to channel the future you who has achieved that goal, and send your messages and your invites and your posts from that person, because you are going to faith it until you make it. You're going to faith it into reality. But that was just kind of the theme of today, and I just feel like it applies. Because for me, when you said I'm a superstar diamond, it still doesn't sound right. Like, it doesn't sound right that Ashlie Molstad is a superstar diamond. Like, it actually sounds like a lie coming out of my mouth. It feels fake. It feels like I didn't really achieve it. Like, I don't know if I can't really explain it, but it's weird, because I was a 6-star coach for 3 years who could never lead people, who could never advance. That was the story that I told myself for 3 years. So that's what's like deeply rooted in me. But at some point, it was March of this year, I decided, like, why not? Why can't I be a superstar diamond coach? And then I started acting as if I was one. And then lo and behold, here I am, right? So anyway, that was a very long-winded wrap up, but yeah.
It was perfect. Thank you. So I just want to, again, thank you very much for being with us tonight and sharing all of that. I did record it, so for those of you who hopped on late or want to share it later, I will post the recording. But thank you, Ashlie. I really appreciate it. And thank all of you for bearing with me, not Melanie. I think that we answered most questions. So I really appreciate you spending your time with me. And I hope you have an awesome rest of your night, everybody. Thank you. Bye.